A brand new and truly wild fan theory involving Liv Morgan has started gaining traction across the WWE community, and if it turns out to be even partially true, it could completely flip current storylines on their heads. This theory doesn't just speculate on Liv Morgan's long-awaited return to Raw, but it also presents the idea that her reappearance could be accompanied by betrayal, chaos, emotional turmoil, and shocking alliances that no one saw coming. There are multiple layers to this speculation, each involving different members of the Judgment Day, and when pieced together, it paints a picture of one of the most dramatic story arcs WWE has seen in recent memory. Let's begin with the key development that sparked this theory, the inclusion of Roxanne Perez in the Judgment Day. Fans were quick to point out that her sudden addition to the group raises major red flags. Most notably, this decision was made without Liv Morgan's awareness or approval. This is significant because, prior to her absence, Liv had been positioned as a major player within the Judgment Day. The fact that such a major recruitment decision happened behind her back immediately creates tension and sets the stage for confrontation. Finn Balor was the one who brought Roxanne Perez into the group, acting on his own and seemingly bypassing any collaborative decision-making process. That alone signals that when Liv returns, she won't just be stepping back into her previous role. She'll be walking into a powder keg of conflict and betrayal. The situation becomes even more strained when you consider how Roxanne interacted with other Judgment Day members during her debut, especially Dominik Mysterio. On her first night, Roxanne offered Dominik a tray of chicken nuggets, a simple, light-hearted gesture on the surface, but one that could carry serious symbolic meaning. Considering Liv Morgan's romantic involvement with Dominik, fans speculate that she would not take kindly to Roxanne immediately cozying up to him. The chicken nugget moment might seem trivial to some, but within the highly emotional and dramatic world of WWE storytelling, these seemingly minor acts can often represent deeper manipulation, signaling the start of a power play or a threat to existing relationships. All signs point to Liv Morgan's return being anything but smooth. In fact, if this theory plays out, she could come back to find her entire world flipped upside down. Her position within the Judgment Day would be unstable, her personal relationships compromised, and her alliances weakened. The core of her conflict will undoubtedly lie with Finn Balor, whose recent moves appear to be a calculated attempt to eliminate any competition for leadership. Finn has long wanted to be the undisputed leader of the Judgment Day, but his path to that position has been repeatedly blocked, first by Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, and more recently, potentially by Liv Morgan herself. In the past, Finn managed to remove Rhea and Damian by sowing division and manipulating events behind the scenes. Fans are now theorizing that he's using the same strategy against Liv, introducing Roxanne as a new member in order to alienate Liv and force her out. This looming power struggle between Finn and Liv is expected to escalate into an all-out war for control of the Judgment Day. Liv has grown more assertive and strategic over time, and she won't simply step aside. She's shown that she can match Finn's manipulative nature and may even outwit him if given the chance. However, Finn seems to be pulling every string possible to remove her from the equation, with Roxanne serving as the latest pawn in his game. The complications don't stop with Finn. Liv's closest alliance within the faction, her tag team partner Raquel Rodriguez, may also be at risk. At first glance, Raquel appears to be firmly on Liv's side. She showed hostility toward Roxanne during their backstage introduction and later posted on social media to reaffirm her loyalty to Liv, making it clear that she has no interest in welcoming Roxanne into the fold. However, fans are starting to wonder if Raquel's attitude might change. After all, Raquel and Roxanne have a long history together dating back to their days in NXT, where they were once a strong tag team and even close friends. Despite some recent rivalries between the two, it wouldn't be shocking to see old bonds begin to resurface. If Roxanne steps in to support Raquel during a match, helps her out of a tight spot, or even co-defends the tag team titles in Liv's absence, it might lead to a softening of Raquel's stance. In time, they could rebuild their friendship, which would leave Liv out in the cold. That potential shift in Raquel's loyalty would deal a significant emotional blow to Liv, who may already be feeling betrayed and abandoned. Meanwhile, things could get even messier in LIV's relationship with Dominik Mysterio. Dominik has developed a reputation for being easily swayed by women who offer him affection, gifts, or attention, patterns that are already being mirrored in his budding interactions with Roxanne. This is the same behavior that led him to leave Rhea Ripley and gravitate toward LIV in the first place. Now, it appears Roxanne is using the same tactics that LIV once employed, which raises serious concerns that Dominik might be swayed yet again. If he begins sneaking off with Roxanne or displaying romantic interest in her, LIV would be forced to deal with betrayal from the man she stole from Rhea and fought so hard to keep. It's important to note that Liv Morgan hasn't even returned to TV yet, and already, so many storylines are seemingly being set up to converge on her comeback. The theory suggests she could lose Raquel to rekindled friendship, lose Dominik to a fresh romance, and find herself clashing head-to-head with Finn Balor over leadership, all while Roxanne Perez becomes the new center of attention in the Judgment Day. Fans believe Finn will be watching with amusement as Liv's world crumbles around her, finally clearing the way for him to rule the group without interference. That raises an essential question. If Liv finds herself alone, betrayed, and ousted from the group she helped shape, what comes next for her? Who could she turn to in this time of crisis? The answer, as strange as it sounds, might be none other than Rhea Ripley. Rhea and Liv have one of the most volatile histories in WWE. They were once close allies and tag team champions, only for Rhea to turn her back on Liv and align with the Judgment Day. Rhea's betrayal was brutal, and it led to a long, bitter feud between the two. Liv retaliated by injuring Rhea, stealing her title, taking Dominik, and even attacking her in a parking lot with a bat. Their relationship has been built on pain and vengeance, making it almost impossible to imagine them working together again. Yet, fans are starting to entertain the possibility. Despite all the bad blood, Liv and Rhea now share similar scars. They've both been manipulated and discarded by Finn Balor. They've both been betrayed by Dominik Mysterio. They both know what it's like to be exiled from the Judgment Day. These commonalities might be just enough to create a fragile alliance. It wouldn't be based on friendship or forgiveness. It would be based on necessity and shared goals. The best comparison some fans draw is the temporary alliance between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes in late 2024. After years of bitter rivalry, Roman and Cody came together to fight a mutual enemy, despite not fully trusting each other. There was always a layer of tension between.